In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whenever you're ready.
Boom. Episode 11. Hey guys, you're listening to another episode of the You're Human podcast, and I'm Dakota Meyer. This is episode 11. If you are watching it live right now and you have a question and you want to call in, 512-523-5609. It is the place where nothing's off the table. So anyways, what a great week. I know we just did one Saturday, right?
Yes, sir.
Quick turnaround. We're getting back to our usual Tuesday times where people are out crushing it. They've got past their Monday and, living the dream. So incredible week coming up. We've got an event coming up on Thursday. It's an op-res event out here that the Independence Fund puts on. Such an incredible event. Oh, dang, we got calls coming in already. Let's send it. Hey, it's Dakota with the Your Human podcast. Dang, they hung up. They didn't think that I'd answer. Anyways, back to what we're talking about.
This week, Independence Fund.
Yep, Independence Fund is putting on an op-res event, which is going to be on Thursday at the beautiful Reveille Peak Ranch. So really excited about that. Friday, you're going to be heading to Abilene, Texas. Is that how you say it? Abilene? Or do you say Abilene?
No, I think it's Abilene.
Abilene. I don't know. Anyways, heading out there, going to be there from Friday until Sunday, knocking out a class. Next week, heading to North Carolina. Is that? Let me check my calendar. Let me just make sure.
North Carolina seems to be the place.
That's not next week. That's not next week.
That's this month, though.
Yeah, it's this month. So actually, just so you know, I'll be in North Carolina on the 20th, so 21st and 22nd. Be out there for a hiring fair for first responders. So if you're a first responder and you're in the area in Jacksonville, North Carolina, make sure to come out to our job fair. You can go find out more at hiringourheroes.org. And if you're not looking for a job, at least come by and say what's up. We're going to be doing a workout. We'll actually talk about that next Tuesday, so we need to make that a priority. Of all the details, be working out while I'm out there, getting a little training in. So if you want to come out, come get some. You want to get 1% better. You want to step up to the plate, have at it. So that's that.
You posted something today on Instagram about don't being a bitch. Don't be a bitch when it comes to working out. How does someone overcome their inner bitch?
Just smack that motherfucker around. No, just, we all have that. We all have those negative thoughts inside of our head that say, hey, stay in bed. It's comfortable. It's dark. You sleep 5 more minutes. You deserve it. All that. They're all lies. They're all just trying to make you weaker. And that's just, hey, don't be a bitch. Get up and do what you set out to do,
Someone's asking on YouTube, what happened to the podcast with Dan? I don't know if we've answered that.
What happened to the podcast with Dan? Actually, we both just got busy, right? Like I was on the road. I was actually working down in Houston a lot and love Dan.
Yeah, that's great. I got a question here. Do you have any physical ailments that may prevent you from being your best self? And if so, how do you deal with them?
Yeah, my back hurts. I got 4 herniated discs in my lower back. Had a couple right knee surgeries. I've had right shoulder surgery. My left shoulder hurts. Like this is the difference. Like, see the difference? Yeah. My neck hurts. I tore a muscle or something where my lat connects to my back. But I don't know. Like, how does it, my mobility, like, I've figured out, like, I'm trying to work on getting my shoulder where it can go down so I can throw the rope. Like I found out that that's a problem. But like, I don't know. Like, I use it as my fuel, like to fight against it. Where there are failures, there are opportunities to get better. So, or deficiencies, failures, whatever you want to call them. So that's kind of it. It doesn't hold me back. My back hurts sometimes, so I got to be careful. But because my back hurts, it's even more of a reason for me to train and make my back stronger so that it it doesn't hurt, right? Like a lot of people, you always hear, oh, I don't deadlift because my back, it hurts my back. Well, no shit, it hurts your back because your back's weak because you don't deadlift, you know?
Wow. Man, that's tough. That's some tough love right there.
That's some tough love, ain't it? That's some tough love.
I have a question here. Is attitude everything? Sometimes my wife says I'm being fake, but I feel like I'm putting on a good attitude to change the mood.
Listen, attitude, if you don't have discipline when it comes to your attitude and you let like it's like everything in life. It's perspective, it's staying on schedule, it's going to the gym. Like all these things require discipline. Discipline isn't just about in one aspect of life. And discipline is incredibly important when it comes to your attitude. So yeah, I mean, do you think that everybody, like you see all these happy people walking around, do you think that they're always happy? No, but they have the discipline to focus on the positive. Like, do you think that when you see somebody who's always happy, or, those people we talk about, or you see, do you think that they don't have problems at home, or that they don't have the same issues that everybody else has? 100% they do. But guess what? They just have the discipline to stay focused on the positive instead of the negative. So keep staying positive, bro.
Got a question here. Tell us a time when you embraced the suck and it was comical.
Man, all the time. All the time. It's always comical because I'm always looking like I'm going to die, like I embrace the suck all the time. I embrace the suck every day I wake up. But I don't know. That's a good question. I'd have to think about that one.
What keeps you up at night pondering the state of the world?
Nothing at all.
What's the most profound lesson you've learned from facing your own vulnerabilities? You're a very vulnerable guy. I've always said your EQ is off the charts for most people. I don't think people would know that about you or assume that about you, but you're a very vulnerable person.
Yeah, I mean, and you know what? Like the more vulnerable you get, the more like I've never said that, hey, oh, I thought this or this happened to me, and like not been in a room full of people and then be like, oh yeah, that happened to me too. Right. Like they say it all the time. Like it's like, and the more you let that shit out, like the less you worry about. Like just be who you are. Like the more you are who you are, the less you got to worry about, because you ain't got to worry about anybody figuring out who you really are.
Damn, say that again louder for the people in the back.
I mean, it's crazy. It's a crazy concept, ain't it? Like at the end of the day, if you look at people and say, hey, look, I've made shit ton of mistakes. Like I'm going to mess up. I mean, it doesn't excuse you to mess up. It just goes ahead and sets the expectation. And like, you can always revert back to like, I never said I was perfect. I'm just trying to get better. How freeing is that?
If you could change one thing about society, what would it be and why?
I mean, I just wish people like not that it would be okay to be wrong, but that like people could change their minds and not feel like I think that's the most dangerous thing about what our society has done is that if you come out and you make a statement based off the information you had, and then you get more information and then you want to come back and change your opinion, like no chance in this society. No chance in clarifying in this society because there's so many weak people.
Jeremiah on Facebook says, I blew my back out and due to deadlifting too much. Discipline controls your intensity too. If you know better, then you have the discipline to control your ego in the gym.
100%, right? Like, and that's the difference. Like what a profound statement, right? Like, man, I appreciate that. And you're 100% right. Yeah, I don't ego lift anymore, right? Like that's the difference. Like I don't go in there and just like, I'm not competing against trying to be the strongest person in the gym or trying to outlift somebody. I'm in there doing the work that I need to do, right? I'm in there getting me stronger, not trying to ego lift or trying to lift a shit ton of weight so that I can say I lifted a shit ton of weight. I'm in there trying to get better, right? And getting better means doing not hurting yourself, right? Like getting stronger without hurting yourself. And that's where all like focusing on form. Like none of us like to go lift and focus on form. Nobody does. Nobody wants to go in and do the slow reps and focus on lighter weight with better form. None of us. Hey, it's Dakota with your Human Podcast.
Hello.
What's up? Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
You're live on air, buddy.
Hey, what's going on? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Man, I'm trying to figure out technology right now.
It's all good. Listen, that's my life.
Hey, man, I don't really have a question. I just want to get on and just say how, man, you're doing an awesome job. You're doing awesome things in your life, and just everything that you're doing. Just keep on doing it.
Man, I appreciate that.
I know there's veterans out there like myself who rely on other veterans who kind of went through, similar situations, or just in general being a veteran. I mean, the brotherhood that you have, this, when you leave the military, it kind of goes away and nothing can really fill the void, right?
That's right.
So just try and find everything that you're, just everything that you're doing, man, it's admirable. And I just want to say, keep on doing what you're doing.
Man, I appreciate it. Where are you from?
I'm from Owensboro, Kentucky. My
What?
name's Brian Bash.
Owensboro, Kentucky. I'm from, you know where Columbia's at?
I do know where Columbia is from.
Hell yeah, man. Who are you
Yeah,
with?
we actually, I have a nonprofit out here called Veterans Empowered Together.
Oh yeah.
And we're trying to do the same thing, and it takes a village, and I have a great village.
Man, that's awesome. That's so awesome to hear.
Yeah. But I mean, if you come back to Kentucky anytime, man, I'd love to have you come out and just see what we've been doing.
Absolutely, man. Is there anything we can promote for you?
You know what? No, I don't have anything to promote. I didn't want to get on here and do that. I just want to say thank you for what you're doing.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate it. And thank you for what you're doing.
Oh, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it.
Means a lot. That's good. That's a good way to start the show off with a fellow Kentuckian,
That's it, man. They don't make them like us.
They don't make them like us, right? We're from the bluegrass state.
That's it. That's it.
Well, I hope you have a great day, man. I appreciate you calling in. It means a ton. And thank you for your service.
Hey, thank you as well, man.
Take care, brother. See ya. Hey, it's Dakota with your Human Podcast.
Oh, wow. Is this live right now?
Hell yeah, it's live. What's up, man?
Not much. I just wanted to give a shout out and say, I appreciate what you're doing, and had a quick question for you.
Yeah.
When transitioning, I got out in 2016, and do you ever have it where you can have 99 successes that you just dwell so deeply on that one failure? I mean, I jokingly say that I'm surprised I'm not a diamond by now with how much pressure I put on myself, and it can be the littlest of things, and I will just ruminate and just stick on that, like I fucked that up, and it could be the littlest thing.
Yeah, man. And so, yeah, 100%. But like, did you ever play sports in high school?
Oh, I did, and I was a big sufferer what one of my baseball coaches called paralysis by analysis.
Paralysis by analysis, baby, right? Like that pitch, like that pitch is already gone. Mm-hmm. And so what I would tell you is usually when we like I know it sounds crazy, but like for me, I'll talk about for me. When I catch myself like dwelling on those moments, it's usually a deeper issue, right? Like you're letting your mind like really you're letting your mind control it, right? Like what like look, whether it's a win or a failure, it's only as good as how you use it to make you better. Right? So like you don't focus on a win any longer than you focus on that failure. So like that failure that that you're worried about, like instead of looking at it and like take the word, and I'm actually writing a book about this right now, but take the word why out of it. Like you take the word why. Guys like us who will dwell on that failure forever, it's because the why question. So take why out of it. Like, why did this happen? Why didn't I do this? All this. Like there's no task or actionables in the why question. And what you do is switch that why to what? What could I do so this doesn't happen again? What should I have done? What can I do next time? What am I going to do to make up for this? Do you see what I'm saying?
I do. Cause cause I was a medic for 9 years.
Yeah.
And, so something I had a lot of, questions, how you talk about the, the changing the mindset is, like there's times where unfortunately, it's the nature of the beast when you do lose guys.
Yeah.
And it fucking sucks. But it is what it is. It's just, it comes with the territory, but it's hard to not look back on and say like, well, what could I have done differently? Was I not, good enough in my giving aid? Was I not,
No, you're wrong. Let me tell you what the problem is. Let me tell you what you're missing.
What's that?
You didn't know what you were there to do. And so what you're missing out on is the importance of you don't get to decide. Me and you don't get to decide if people live or die. And it's so critically important that you were there with them when they died. You got to spend their last moments on earth with them, letting them know that they were cared about so they didn't have to die alone, letting them know that you were going to do. They went out of this world knowing that somebody was there trying to do everything they could to keep them there.
Yeah.
How badass is that?
No, it is. And maybe it's in part of me, and maybe it's just the toxic masculinity that the military used to be really bad about. And I know you saw it in your time where it's kind of like, oh, if I raise my hand, if I say that I need to talk about shit, I feel like less a man, less a soldier, less of a Marine, whatever have you. So you compartmentalize that shit. And, sometimes it's hard to think about, and I'm sure you've lost, battle buddies where you thought, oh, this guy's a PT stud, he's, type A, and you lose that guy and you're like, well, what the fuck? Like, why am I still here? This guy was he was at a level that I hope I can attain.
Do you believe in God?
I do, sir.
Guess what? Let me tell you the line that God says that answers all these questions. He says that everything he does, everything that's done, everything that happens, he does. And everything that he does is what? Is good.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not God, you're not God.
So we can only see our point of view.
Listen, we're here to do what we can with what we got. And man, the fact that I'll tell you, I came home from this call and I'm going to give you kind of like where all this came from. I came home from this call. I'll never forget. It was a CPR call when I first got back into firefighting. Right. And I went on the CPR call and I came home and it was terrible. Like nothing crazy, not traumatic. It was, it was a heart attack and the guy died. And I'll never forget it. I came home and
He dropped.
He dropped.
Dang. I'd love to call him back.
Yeah, call him back.
So you're on a CPR call.
Yeah, I remember.
Hey, Aaron.
Please leave your message for 8.
Dang, his phone died probably.
Yeah, I think
Anyways,
so.
what's next? What we got?
Oh man, you want to finish that anecdote?
Yes. Yeah. So I went on this CPR call. If you're watching, I went on this CPR call and I came home and I never forget, I walked into the house And I was just, I don't know why. I mean, I don't know why it bothered me. But I walked into the house and like my girls always want to run up to me and ask me, what call did you go on? Right. Cause they're more excited than anything. And I walked in, couldn't even talk to them, couldn't even look at them. And I went straight to the shower, got in the shower, take a shower to wash off. And cause I've been sweating and like I just stood there and cried in the shower. And I was like mad at myself. I was like, why the fuck are you doing this? Like really just like fighting myself. You don't need this. You don't need this. And on and on and on. And then like it kind of hit me like, and I talked to one of my buddies who's been a firefighter forever. And he was like, Dakota, like you're missing it. We don't, is this him?
He's calling back.
Are you there?
Yeah, sorry about that, Dakota. My left shit on me.
It's all good. Did you hear me?
No, I heard you referencing the heart attack call.
Yeah, so I was on this CPR call, and I don't know why it wasn't nothing crazy, nothing traumatic, right? It was a medically induced, it was a heart attack, and so I did CPR, came home, the guy passed away, and like man, like this was like. I'd been out of the game since I'd been in the military. And I remember walking in, my daughters used to run up to me and they would like, every time I came home from a call, like they wanted to know what it was. It's like the excitement of the day. And I couldn't even look at them, man, like straight walked past them, walked into my room, shut my door, turned the shower on because I'd been sweating. And then I got in the shower and, I just literally bawled my eyes out. And I was like, why am I doing this? Like, why am I putting myself through this again? Like, I just got better. Like, I'm just over and all this. And so, I was talking to my buddy about it, who's a firefighter as well. And he said, Dakota, you're missing the point. He goes, we're kind of like the garbage men of the world. We go do things that other people want to pretend doesn't exist. The only time that people know that we're there is when we don't show up. And we do the things that nobody wants to do. Everybody wants to be there when somebody's born. Everybody wants to surround people and be happy, but nobody wants to be there when people are dying. And leaving this world is as important as it is coming into it, right? And the fact is, man, is like all those guys, like it ain't it ain't on us to figure out. And honestly, they're in a better place. They ain't suffering. They're not, so at the end of the day, man, like you got the opportunity to share those last moments with them. And you know what? Like if they died in combat, like what an honorable way to go. Right. I mean, that's how I dreamed of going, right? Going down in my boots, fighting for my country. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks for us because we miss them. It does. It does. But at the end of the day, man, like what we got to learn in that, we got to do that. We got to spend that time with these awesome people. We got to know them. And it's our job to use that. I believe the more we go through, the more we get over it. And then the more that we are to go lead others through it. You were selected to do that. You were selected to be part of that, and to look at it in any negative way other than sacred, like we're disrespecting them. You know what I mean?
I guess, yeah, I do. I think that sometimes it's really hard to recenter yourself because by you asking, I'm assuming you're a Christian, that it's all we have is this first person point of view, our snapshot in time. And it's hard to understand the plan that God has for us because he's up above us and he can see all the strings pulling everybody along on the path that they walk.
100%. But think about this.
Sometimes it's hard to see that.
It is hard to see it, and we're never going to see it. But man, think about this. Let me ask you this. If you died, let's reverse roles. If you died, would you want them to walk around carrying that hatchet, carrying that burden?
I see what you're saying.
Would you? I mean, I'm asking, like, would you want them to be
Yeah.
sad? Would you ever want them to have a bad day because you passed away? Or would you want them to go out and crush it and go out and just be fucking proud that you got to know them?
No, I see, because sometimes my therapist told me, I'm paraphrasing, but something to the effect that when you carry all that shit with you, it's like adding stuff to your ruck, and sometimes that shit gets heavy and you got to sit it down.
Well, you do. You got to set it down. And man, I'll tell you right now, if I ever die in a gunfight, or if I ever die trying to help somebody, or if I ever die in a fire trying to get busy and do better for the community, or any of that, bro, you better go out and you better tell people. You better tell people about me in a way that people have to live up to that, right? That it raises the bar for other people to go out and make every day count. And like every day that we're worried about people who are gone and passed away is a day that we're wasting trying to rise up to the standard that they set for us.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that it's like you wanna like do their memory, like you wanna live and honor their memory and not do them a disservice by groveling about it.
You got to live a life that's worthy of their sacrifices. You got to go out and like, look, they're gone. There's more people to touch here. There's a ton of people that need you, that love you, that would love to have you, help them. You know what I mean? Like, man, we're still in the fight, baby. And it's like, we got to keep pushing. And it took me a long time to realize that. It took me a long time to realize that. But now, man, I don't know what nothing's in our control when it comes to that. All we can do is play the hand we're dealt. You know what I mean? And play that damn thing all the way to the end. And man, you can either use it as your crutch, as your obstacle, as your excuse, or you can use it as your fuel to go out there and get better. You should be able to beat out every person around you. You want to know why? Because your why is so much stronger, because you've watched people literally die. So nobody should be able to touch you. You know what I mean?
I use that as fuel for my motivation when I went to university when I got out, because did you go to college when you ETS?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay, but and I'm sure you've had friends that had, and they may have said something similar to the fact that when you hear kids, that are bitching about their phone bill or their social media, and you just kind of want to shake your head and be like, you have no idea what a fucking bad day is.
Yeah. And guess what, man? There's World War II vets, Vietnam vets that can say the same thing to me and you.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like, that's my point. Is there's people who live in downtown Chicago. There's firefighters who have seen more than me and you ever could. There's medics there's cops. There's always somebody that's had it worse. Mm-hmm. Man?
I have a friend I served with that was also a medic, and he's in Milwaukee, and he told me he's been shot at more in Milwaukee than he did in Iraq.
Yeah.
Crazy to think about.
It is. But you know what, man? Like, let it go. And I know it's easier said than done. And a lot of times we don't let it go because we feel like, you want to talk, like you brought up this toxic masculinity in the, which, I think it was just toxic in the military. But like, let me tell you what was more toxic than what you spoke about. What was toxic was that it was a badge of honor to be as messed up as you could. Like, oh, that person's really messed up, so they must have seen way more. That's what's toxic. Mm-hmm. That's what's toxic. Oh, we're going to go like, oh, so-and-so is having a bad day. Hey, you want to go have drinks and get drunk every single night? Instead of looking at each other and saying, hey, let's go get some help. That's the toxic piece. Mm-hmm. Don't let that continue on, man.
Once I set the bottle down and I got actual help, I'm able to process it a lot better. It's like, yeah, sure, it still hurts, but I'm able to,
It does. It does.
For lack of a better term, losing my shit.
Yep. And once you start staying focused on the positive, once you start looking at the For every one problem you got, I can show you 10 great things around you. There's people everywhere. People, incredible human beings everywhere.
Oh yeah, no, I do. I see it all the time, and I have gotten to. Sometimes it's hard to, for lack of a better term, not get in your feels.
Yeah.
That I did start looking at it rather than like, okay, it's not fair. Why aren't they here? Look at it as, there's a reason I'm here. God left me on this planet to do something.
Yep. Yep. And you know what one of my biggest fears is that one day that I'm standing in front of God and he looks at me and I'm whatever I am and I've done whatever I've done, and he has a board with a list of things that's way bigger than what I've achieved. And he said, this is who I put you on earth to be, but you were just this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could have gone outside your comfort zone and accomplished so much more.
You were too busy worried about my plan instead of going like on why I did the things that I did, instead of focused on what I designed you and put you on earth to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, man,
I do.
we all, let me say this. Let me wrap this up with this. I wake up and have bad moments. I wake up in the middle of the night sometimes and have a bad day. I miss my teammates with every moral fiber of my being. I miss my grandfather. I miss a lot of shit. But guess what? I don't choose to focus on it. I don't walk around and I don't tell my war stories anymore, right? I don't tell them in a way of just focusing on the bad. You know what I do? I get up and I focus on crushing the day. I spend all my time and energy. I don't watch war movies. If it doesn't make me feel good, if it brings back bad memories, I don't spend time around it. I don't go hang around veterans who just want to sit around and talk about their war stories, right? I don't go and I don't do that. I think that the stories are important for the next generation to understand the sacrifices. But if I'm telling it just to relive it, like, do you go around and talk about your ex-girlfriends or like the time you got broke up with?
Yeah, no, I get you.
No, because guess what? It does no good. It doesn't make you feel good, And so, man, when I stop,
in any way?
It doesn't help. And that's the thing. It's like every conversation. Here's what I'm going to challenge you to do. From this point on, when we get off the phone, I want you to recap every conversation you have going forward, everything you look at and spend your time doing. And I want you to say, how is this helping me achieve my goals? Did this make my day better or did it make it worse? And when that happens, start cutting out the shit that made it worse and that's not helping you get to where you want to be.
Trim the fat.
Trim the fat, baby. Trim the fat every day, right? And sometimes we gotta, the people who don't want to trim the fat and who want to keep making more fat, sometimes they gotta go too. You know what I mean? Like, and that's all fine because we're all on our own journey, I guess you could call it. We're all on our own path and we're all in different places. And man, like, you know what?
I'm trying not to get emotional because you're reminding me almost verbatim of a conversation I had with my, fiance the other day, that I was telling her that, hey, when, you're on this journey of growth and moving forward in life, when you come across somebody who tries to throw shade on you or whatever have you, we got to show those people grace and keep moving forward because they're not growing at the same pace you are, if at all.
Yep. But yeah, you're right. And you don't have to, there's nothing about like, hey, I'm cutting you out because I don't love you. But
it's just,
but like
my journey, you're on yours.
Yeah. And hey, we're not at the same spot. So I'm not going to slow down for you, and hopefully you catch up. And if you need some help, call me because I've already been through there. You know what I mean? And like how it's awesome, man. And just get on, hey, get with people who are either a little bit in front of you or people who are on the same journey.
Yeah, I dealt with far too many sick call rangers to be carrying somebody else's pack on a rucksack called life.
100%, man. 100%. You're crushing it. Where do you live?
I'm in, you know where Kerrville is in Texas?
Yeah.
Yeah, I live in Kerrville.
Hell yeah, man. Well, hey, I appreciate you calling me. I hope you have a good day.
Oh, likewise. I just want to give a shout out to Corporal Joshua Romero. He's my brother. He was killed in Iraq and is May 18th of 2007. But I just
Man.
want to give a shout out to him, and I hope he's in a good spot upstairs.
Well, he is. You know what he's doing? He's looking down on you, and he's like, "Fucking, you better get after it." You know it? That's what he's doing, brother. Well, I hope you have a good day, man. Keep crushing it.
I appreciate.
Thanks for calling.
I appreciate you, Chico. No
See,
problem.
see you,
bless.
brother. God bless. What an awesome dude. What an awesome guy.
Dude. Real remarkable stuff for me, dude. I've heard you say this, and I've never felt that way until right now. But like, I could kick through a windshield right now.
See, you know,
That's crazy.
Sometimes you gotta get fired up and just kick out that windshield going down the road.
That's crazy stuff. There's a lot there, man. I don't even know what to say.
What a good guy.
What a great guy. I appreciate both of y'all's vulnerability. It's a very human thing. Drinking Bros Studio says, "What is good?"
Tell him what is good.
We had a call here. I want to give them a call back.
All right.
Was happy, by the way.
That was good. What a good guy.
They called us 3 times, so they.
Hello?
Hey, what's going on? It's Dakota with Your Human Podcast.
Yo, what's going on, Dakota?
What's up? Who is this?
This is Tyler.
What's up, Tyler?
Just sitting at work, saw you guys were doing a live stream and thought I might call in and get some of your thoughts.
Hell yeah, man. Send it.
So, unhappy topics, but something I know you have experience in.
Yep.
While serving in the Marines, happened to witness suicide of a fellow Marine and dealt with a lot of survivor's guilt, which is something I know you've dealt with. And
Yeah.
I'm just wondering how you dealt with that, what it was like to get beyond that. What did you do when you were in that kind of situation?
Man, first off, I want to tell you, I couldn't imagine being in that situation. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, I don't get too many situations where I'm like, I don't know what I would do. And I couldn't imagine. And I'm sorry you had to be part of that. But I go back to kind of like the guy I just had on. That wasn't there's nothing you could have done to change that. And man, he's gone. He made, I've lost quite a few friends to suicide, never witnessed it. Right. And this is how I sum it up. And this is what I've had to come to the conclusion of. Hey, they made the decision, right? Not me. They made a decision, and I wish I could have done something to change that. I feel terrible that they got to that point, but I couldn't have changed that. And for you, the best thing you can do is what could you learn from it, right? Like, it's important for us to know that everybody's struggling with something. It's important for us to know that everybody's going through something. If anything, it should make us open our heart up to others and be more considerate to others than anything, right? And to make sure that we make those moments matter. We tell people that they matter. No, the problem with suicide is for somebody to get to the point to where they're going to take their life away, it's usually because one or two things. One, they don't feel like they matter to anybody. They feel like no one cares. There's no arguing that. Or two, they feel like they're an inconvenience or a burden on other people, which is majority of the time what I think when it comes to veterans. That piece, or I'd say the third piece is that, hey, the reality that they're in right now is never going to get better, which we all know is not the case. Right.
Right.
So how do we make sure that everybody that we're around, that, hey, they know that we care about them, that they know that they matter, that they know that tomorrow's always going to be better, right? And that's really all we can do. Does that make sense? I don't know if that's answering it or.
No, I think it helps. I mean, I've had 2 Marines I served with that ended up taking their own lives, and one was the strong, silent type who was a great mentor to us all, and no one saw that one coming.
Yeah.
The other one was a little more troublesome, and he had incidents in the past, and that was the one I was there for, dealing with the survivor's guilt. But I think that does make sense as a way forward.
But can I ask you this?
Struggling.
Can I ask you this? Sometimes we try to, survivor's guilt comes from us trying to put responsibility on our shoulders that's not ours.
Okay, that makes sense.
You know what I mean? Like what? I mean, you know what I mean? Like what? Why do you have survivor's guilt, right? Like I understand it. I mean, like, we can talk through it, but my thing is like, you didn't make that decision. And at the end of the day, you're not God, neither am I. And, and for us, it's like, we did the best we could. The reality is, like, I have survivor's guilt about my teammates. I did, but
I think about, I rethink the situation, the event, everything that happened, and I know I did what I thought was right in every moment of that. But it's still hard to know that he's not here, and maybe if I did this, maybe if I did when I should have zagged, maybe things would be different.
Yeah,
so it's challenging, and part of me knows that I did do what I thought was right in every moment, but it is tough to get past.
100%. Like nobody, but you can't start processing it until you admit that you couldn't have done anything to change it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you're still stuck at it's my fault, when it's like, man, there's nothing we like with my teammates. Like, oh, well, maybe if I was in their team, I could have saved them. Like, no, I couldn't have. No, I couldn't have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like what's meant to be is what happens.
Yeah, that's fair. Let me ask you this, because the other Marine I served with who took his own life, he was, like I said, the strong, silent type. He was the mentor to us all. But for someone like you who's dealt with real serious suicidal thoughts, what helped you pull you out of your darkest moment when you thought you were going to do it? What was said or done that prevented that from happening?
For me, it was, I had to make a commitment. I had to stop focusing on me, right? Like I had to, because we all run around like, maybe it's going to piss some people off, but you asked me the question, so I'm gonna tell you my answer for me, Dakota. We all run around saying that, oh, I live for my brothers.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, of course.
right? And like, if that's the true case, would my teammates be proud of me killing myself? Would my teammates be proud of me waking up and drinking every day? Would my teammates, did they die for me to be an asshole? Did my teammates die for me to walk around and, like, I think the most disrespectful thing that I ever have done to the guys I served with that gave their life fighting for this country or in combat is when I used to go around and I used to use their sacrifices as my excuse to be a piece of shit.
That's some sage advice. I really appreciate that, Dakota.
Does that make sense? Like, I know that like, I know it's going to piss people off, but like when I walk around and I say, man, like but because, you know, I drink because of PTSD, or not PTSD, but I drink because of what I've seen in combat. Man, if anything, we have an obligation to go out and live the fullest life because we have seen the cost of freedom firsthand.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I really appreciate that, Dakota. That really helps reframe a lot of things for me.
Does it or does it not? Like, be honest with me.
It does. It does. No, rather than wallowing in what happened, try to live my life the best way I can in spite of it and for them.
For them,
And
right?
that really helps.
What would you want me to do? Like, let me ask you this. If you died today, think about this. If you died today, the people that love you around you, what would you want them to do?
I want them to be healthy. I want them to be happy. I want them to take care of, you know, family in the way that I couldn't because I'm not here any longer.
Hell yeah, man. So guess what? If we're truly going to walk around and live for our brothers, sisters, we got to live for them, not for us.
Fuck yeah. I appreciate it, man.
Hell yeah, brother.
Shout out, rest in peace, Staff Sergeant Frank Lake, Lance Corporal Devin Williams.
Hell yeah.
Brother.
Hell yeah, man. I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you so much.
See you, man.
It's great talking with
You
you.
too.
Bye.
Man, I'm getting hammered today. I love it though. Like, you know, it's like it is true though. I mean, it's true. Like, you know, I used to wear the bracelets, the black bracelets on my wrist, and man, I finally took them off because they're like damn handcuffs from happiness.
Yeah, you shared that one of your daughters hugged you and like
Yeah.
hit you in the eye or something.
No, like I like reached out to go hug Sailor one day, picking her up from daycare. And like when I did that, like I was so excited to see her. And when I reached out to grab her, like that black bracelet hit the corner of my eye. And like it instantly took my happiness away. I'm like, fuck that. My teammates wouldn't want that.
No, fuck no. And let me put it on you. Like if you were in their shoes, how would you want them to live their life? You know,
100%.
Yeah. I mean,
crush it. Like if you're sad
that's
for
the
me,
perspective right there.
if
Man.
you're sad for me, if I die today, you better not be sad for me. I promise you that if I die today, I died doing what I wanted to do.
Amen.
Even if I don't care if I have a fucking heart attack. Like I still died doing what I want to do. If I die on this show right now, I'm doing what I want to do.
My word. I don't really know where to go from here.
We got any more questions on the YouTube or the Book of Faces?
Oh God. A lot of people agreeing with where you're coming from. They appreciate your perspective. Kevin says the best thing you can do is honor our fallen soldiers and ask yourself if you are an American worth dying for at the end of the day. Live life.
Have you lived a life that's worthy of their sacrifices?
Yeah. That's heavy.
Hell yeah.
And that's not a burden. What is that?
It's an honor.
It's an honor. Yeah. It's an absolute honor.
You know, nothing's easy. You know, nothing's easy in life. You know what I mean? Like, look, the reality is life's not going to be easy. Like and I go back to whether you don't have a job and you don't work and you just sit at home and you don't pay your bills and you're grossly out of shape, like that person's miserable. Just like the person that goes to the gym and that goes to their job. No matter which direction you go, it's going to be hard. Like it's hard to feel that way. It's hard to go to the gym in the mornings. It's hard to show up every day, right? But you got to figure out which hard's worth it.
Right. Choose your difficulty.
Choose your difficulty. You know what I mean? And like, just go get after it. Surround yourself with people that, man, I heard this badass. It was on Instagram yesterday, and it talked about eagles.
Eagles?
Yeah, and it said, you know, when an eagle's flying, and this is kind of like our circles of people around us. You know, when an eagle's flying, when it sees another bird in the air at the altitude it flies at, it knows it's another eagle.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if it starts flying around, starts seeing pigeons, it knows it's at the wrong altitude, needs to get higher.
Oof.
So don't go fly with the pigeons.
People are agreeing. They're saying that the bracelets are psychological handcuffs.
They are, and they were made off of a marketing ploy, right? Like, let's talk about Memorial Day.
Yeah.
You know, we just had that. I can't stand when people are like, they want to be sad on Memorial Day. I don't know. And maybe there are some people who died for this country that wanted you to be sad. Maybe. I don't know all of them. But the ones that I know would want you to go fucking crush it. Would want you to go get after it. Would want you to go to the lake and party. Like, they'd be happy you had a day off. You know, if you got a day off, they'd be expecting you to make the most of it. You know what I mean? Like, go live a day of, you know, you get to think about them. You know what I mean? Like, it's a day to say, hey, what badass guys. How cool are we that we're the United States of America? And people believed in this place enough to go give their life for it. Like, how cool is that?
Aaron, who called, he was the one before this last call, says the notification for your live was the reason I got on social media today. Thanks for the talk. Much love and God bless, brother.
Man, what a good dude. Aaron, I love you, man. You're a good guy.
Got a call.
Got a call. Hey, it's Dakota with Your Human Podcast. Hello? Hey, it's Dakota with Your Human Podcast.
Hey, Dakota.
How are you?
My name's I'm hanging in there.
Well, that's good.
I got a couple things that I'd like to read for you if it's all right.
Absolutely. Where are you from?
Help me through. I'm from Oklahoma.
Awesome. Yeah. Send it. Sorry, I just wanted to know where you're from.
Oh, you're great, man. I'm a little nervous. I've been thinking about doing this. I was in a car accident 20 years ago, and I'm handicapped now.
Yeah.
And you've actually helped me through quite a bit. I've been listening to you for a few years, and going through a lot. Being handicapped, I wrote a poem. I've written 2 poems. One of them you definitely inspired. And it says, I can't do any more, but I can't do any less. I've found myself in a mess. When you die, they put 2 numbers on your stone. It's that dash in the middle I continue to hone. Trying to be a little better every day. This life is rough, so I continue to pray. Try to show the good when there is bad, and turn the other cheek when you get mad. We all struggle with this, I can say, but try to be better every day. It doesn't have to be big, it can be so small, but doing something good will make you stand tall. Give a helping hand or just stop and pray, but try to be better every day. That's the one you inspired.
Man, I don't even know what to say. Man, I couldn't have even put my own thoughts and what I want people to do in words better than you just did.
I appreciate that.
That's incredible.
It's tough to. These are pretty personal for me, but I feel that I feel God's led me to get them out there to try to help others. So,
yeah. Let's hear the other one.
The other one, it's the tougher one for me.
Let's hear it.
It says, when I leave the house, I put on a smile, but I know I'm living in denial. Trying to hide the pain so others won't see. Looking for the day I can just be me. Most will never know the pain I hide. I long to feel normal again, so I keep it inside. I spend a lot of time acting like a clown. It's to hide the fact I spend a lot of time down. I have good days, but I also have bad, and the pain never goes away. So I make my jokes just to get me through the day. I am the clown to try to make my heart mend. I couldn't get through this without my great family and friends. More than anything, it's God that gets me through the day. I fight and I smile because this life is rough, but I still want to stay.
Man, you're good.
Thank you.
What do you do? I mean, how's life?
Right now, pretty rough.
What's going on?
I've had 4 knee surgeries, and now they're looking at fusing my back,
Yeah.
and just the pain is pretty unbearable. Tough times. Can't work. My wife has to support us, which I'm thankful to have
Yeah.
a wife that will. But it's always that tough thing as a man that when you can't help support, it's hard.
Well, but
But-
it's are you there? Are you supporting her?
Yeah, obviously not financially, but
Well,
emotionally,
Emotionally?
mentally.
Mentally? Listen, I don't know why. I don't, I can't sit here and pretend to know why you're where you are. But it's going to make sense at some point. Let me say this. Your wife she sees enough in you to want to support you. Right? I mean, how cool is that to have a partner like that?
It's amazing.
You
Like I
know-
said, 20 years I've been hurt, so
And like to be able to to be there to support her, to love her, to still do what you can, right? I mean, do you get out, you get around many people? I mean, like, you sound like an awesome guy. Like, I mean, do people get to spend time with you? Like, do you go hang out with people?
I don't much right now because the pain is so bad. I can't hardly get out.
Yeah.
I used to be the guy that everybody came to, that I used to fix cars. I used to fix people's houses. I was the one who, I was always able to do something for somebody.
Yeah.
And it's weird to have the shoe on the other foot where I can't. And now I'm always asking for it.
Yeah.
But it's part of the humility that I think we all need, that nobody gets through this life alone, and
Nobody.
you can't always be the tough guy.
Yeah, you know what I'd tell you, you know what I'd ask, what I'll challenge you to do is pick up the phone once a day and call somebody and just ask them how they're doing.
That's I'll admit, I know you've dealt with depression,
Yeah.
and a lot of times I'm good at reaching out, but a lot of times, I'm just not, and it sucks. But that's what I need to work on more, is reaching out. I'm always there for others. I don't, and I tell everybody, call me. I'll push my shit aside,
Yeah.
and I'll deal with yours and help you through. But it's I can always deal with mine later.
Well, here's what I want you to do. Here's what I'm going to ask you to do. Okay. I want you to do 2 things a day. Number 1, the first thing I want you to do every single day is I want you to write a note, or I want you to send a text, whichever one, to your wife, letting her know how much you appreciate her. That should be the first thing you do every day. Right? From now on, like it doesn't matter how you feel. It's just part of your daily routine, right? Like brushing your teeth, and get you a thing of sticky notes. And then number 2, call somebody and ask them how they're doing. You know what I mean? And see that, yeah, people might not be going through exactly what you're going through, guarantee it. But guess what? We're all going through something. And
That's one thing I tell everybody too, is because I always get people that if they've got something that hurts, they're like, Oh, it hurts. Oh, I'm sorry. It's not as bad as what you're going through. And I'm like, look, man, pain's pain.
Pain's
I
pain,
don't
ain't
hold
it?
the market on it.
Yeah. That's a good point. None of us hold the market on it, do we?
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever's hurting them, they could stub their toe and feel like it's the worst thing in the world. It's just not what I'm going through.
But how long you been hurting? How long is your car wreck ago?
20 years ago.
20 years ago. So let me tell you what you got. Let me tell you a gift that you got and that you could share with a lot of people. You've got 20 years of getting up and getting through another day of pain. And you can help others.
There's times I tell people that I think that's why I'm in this position is I guess God knew I could handle it.
He doesn't give us more than we can handle.
Had a friend of mine that got crushed by some cars and broke both his legs, messed him up pretty bad. And he called me daily because he just didn't know what to do and how to start making things better. And I was able to help him quite a bit. He actually recovered enough to where he's getting out just about every day, which that excites me is I don't want anybody to be in my position where I'm trapped in the house.
Yep. And man, I don't know why it's happened. Look, the why we'll never figure out. But gosh, I mean, if you can help people like that, it's going to help. You know what I mean? You supporting your wife, telling her how much you love her, and I'm sure you do, but just making it a habit, just making it part of the daily routine. Do what you can. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I'll tell you this. You made my day. I'll tell you that right now. You made my day. This is hands down the best call that I've ever had.
Well, thank you. I'm telling you, you don't know what you've done for others out there, even if they never call in and let you know. Like I said, you touched my life a couple of years ago, and I've been watching you ever since.
Man, that means a ton.
And when you started on the dash, man, that just really hit me. And like I said, it inspired a poem out of me. So
yeah, I'm gonna get in touch with you offline. As soon as we get off here, I'm gonna get in touch with you. I got a couple questions, and then I'm gonna send you some t-shirts. And man, you ever need anything, you better hit me up.
not a problem, brother.
I appreciate you, man. I hope you have a good day.
Thank you. I hope you do too.
Hey, thanks so much for sharing your time with me, man. And hope you have a good day. And I'm gonna be in touch with you.
All right, man. I appreciate you.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Gosh.
What an episode.
What a poem.
What a poem. I got his number, so we'll follow up.
Man. You'll never know why. You'll never know why people call. You'll never know why you got to, why. We focus so much in life on the whys. The why this happened. Why did somebody commit suicide? Why did my friend die? Why did my grandfather die? Why did my dad die? Why did I get in this car wreck? And to me, we focus on all of it and just play the hand you're dealt. You hear these people, they're doing it. I mean, they're doing it. This guy 20 years lived in pain. If he can do it 20 years and he can find a way to get outside the house, gosh, I can go down there and go through pain to get through my workout today. You know what I mean? You talk about perspective.
Amen.
You talk about perspective, right? Gosh, then you talk about a wife who stepped up to the plate. Gosh, people are incredible. And this is why I don't worry. You asked that question earlier and I shrugged it off of, what do you worry about the world, right? Or what was it?
What keeps you up at night? Pondering the state of the world.
What keeps you up at night? Pondering the state of the world. And what did I say? I said nothing.
That's right.
Nothing. You just listen to my show. Like, I mean, gosh, what's there to worry about? You got all these incredible human beings out there living life, you know, going through struggles and being incredible people and still getting up and doing the work and caring about each other and finding they just, you know, taking care of each other, you know, and wanting to be better. And listen, I don't worry about the world. I don't worry about the world. I live in this I got this podcast, and this podcast proves me right to not worry about the world every single episode. This is episode 11, and every episode I get off and I am ready to go a whole another week. Like, so nobody else even has to listen. At least I'm getting all these incredible people calling me up, right? So awesome. But listen, I hope you guys have a great week. I hope you all are crushing it. You know, go out there and get after it, right? You get to choose. You can't choose the hand you're dealt, but you get to choose how you play it. You get to choose to be thankful, to just get to play the game of life. We get another day to play the game of life. You know, I don't believe that any day, any actions, anything decides who we are eternally. And so I think that the great thing is that you know, tomorrow, the next decision, the next right thing, we all have a new opportunity to decide who we are, you know, good and bad. So I hope you guys go out there and I hope you crush it. I hope you own it. And I hope you keep getting 1% better every day. This is the You're Human podcast, and keep owning it.